Keepers nervous, strikers, they'll deliver. Crowd roars erupted, you can feel the quake. 80,000 voices.
Enzo Maresca says Nicolas Jackson is out for the season, or at least for the better part of the remainder of the season. He will only be back around April. I know how things goes. Probably May, that's when he would get any sort of match fitness. And I think something similar applies to McGill, but although don't know much about that at the minute, but he's equally out injured. So let's see how that goes. And then you've got the issue of Chelsea being linked to Roony Bardhji, the Swedish, I say, wonder kid, plays for FC Copenhagen. For me, so I'll just give my opinions on these news items. And for me, Nicolas Jackson being out and not and Chelsea not having any solution to come off the bench or in the squad is just madness. It's craziness. I know a lot of people have said you know you can't really plan for a player like Jackson being out for such a long period of time because he's not really that injury prone. But I'm sorry, it's been clear for years now that Chelsea needs a striker. Chelsea have needed a striker for 2+ years. 2 years and a bit, Chelsea have needed a striker. But the present board, the sporting directors have done nothing to, get a striker, through the doors. This season, Jackson has struggled. And it's not like, Jackson has been firing on all cylinders, 16, 17 goals, already in this season. No, he's been stuck on 9 goals for a long time now. So if nothing else, that should have said to sporting directors, let's get a striker that would compete with Jackson, that can either replace him or spur him on to be better. But what have they done? Nothing. They signed nobody. The transfer window shot. Oh, sorry, they did sign someone. But who did they sign? They signed a central midfielder, 19-year-old Mathis Amalgo from Saint Etienne, a position where you don't really need at this minute. You could easily sign the player, loan him back to Saint Etienne, and happy days. But you decided to go for a position that Chelsea doesn't really need anyone in at the minute. Although you see Lavi is injured, but you have you've got Caicedo in there playing very well. And then you had options on your books already, like your Andre Santos or your Leslie Gochukwu that you could have recalled and, had that problem solved. But no, what were we going to do? We're going to sign a midfielder in a position you don't really need. And now, window shot, you can get a striker. You've loaned out everyone. João Felix is gone off to AC Milan. While the sporting directors are to blame for that as well, but Enzo Maresca is also to blame. And now, in the press conference, Enzo Maresca was going on about, find a different way to play, play with a different type of 9. Well, let's see what he does. If he's going to go to 3 at the back, or he'll go with a narrow 4-3-3. That is, you play with a normal back 4, you play with a 3-man midfield, say maybe your Enzo Maresca, maybe your Enzo Fernandez, your Cole Palmer, and your Caicedo. And then you could have in the attack, you could be Noni Madueke, Jadon Sancho, and Christopher Nkunku, or Pedro Neto, Noni Madueke, and Christopher Nkunku, sort of 3 sub-9s playing off each other, dovetailing off each other. Or you could decide to bring Cole Palmer close, in that 3-man sort of sub-striker role where he could play with Nkunku, Sancho, and himself obviously there, or a different variation of maybe Madueke, Palmer, and Nkunku. Let's see how that goes. Or would Enzo Maresca be willing to, deep into the academy and then go for maybe someone like Shimon Worker, 6 foot tall? He's still young, obviously, but you've got yourself in a tight spot. No striker in the building, no out-and-out striker in the building, rather. So maybe that's what you go for. So let's see what he chooses to do. Or do you recall David Washington? I don't think he would be recalled, but that was another option. Could recall David Washington, but that's not going to happen. At least I don't think it's going to happen. Let's see how things go, how things progress on that front. And then Nicolas Jackson, Wish him speedy recovery. It's never good to see a player out injured. So all the best for him, and let's see how it goes. But also, I was thinking, you have lots of free agents available. So maybe you dip into the free agent market, and Ben Yedder, Wissam Ben Yedder, that is played for Monaco. He's currently a free agent. He's 34 years old. He knows how to score goals. The last time we played, he scored 20 goals in 34 games. So you could get him in the building as a free agent for the 6 months period, or up to 6 months anymore. But let's just say 6 months period for this second half of the season, and let him play. And he can get you the goals, do a nice tidy job for you. And then if he super impresses, you give him 1 year, 1 year extension. If he doesn't impress too much, let him go. If he maybe send him to Strasbourg, but if he just completely flops, then you let him go. Nothing to lose. So those are my thoughts on that front. And then this Roony Bardhji guy. Apologies if I butchered his last name. Really apologies. I don't like spoiling people's names. Hopefully I haven't. But for me, he and Ryan Cherky are the sort of players that give me that Hazard vibe. I would admit Ryan Cherky more than Roony Bardhji, in my opinion. Ryan Cherky gives me more of the Hazard vibe, and Roony Bardhji is sort of in that mold, but Ryan Cherky is a better talent, in my opinion. So overall, he's a nice, tidy player, a decent player, that fits into the model of this new owner, they're no longer new, that 2 years in, at least 2 years in, so they're no longer new owners. But the issue is he's not played this season, and then obviously you're signing him for next season. Where does he come to play? You already have Henry Piers in the building coming in. You already have Estevao William that'll be coming in addition to Cole Palmer, in addition to Sancho, in addition to Noni Madueke. So where is he going to play? Maybe he's a player he signed for Strasbourg, but is the area you really need to sign a striker? You really need, rather, is it an area you really need? Not in my opinion. I don't think so. I just think probably this could be a Strasbourg move, sign him and loan him off to Strasbourg. But then again, you have to remember it's just one other club you have in your multi-club network. It's just one, so you can't have 60 players registered on the books for a club. So let's see how that goes. And my thoughts and opinions on on the issue of Jackson being out and the other topics. And talking about the Brighton game, I'll be doing a preview to the game later on. But for me, the way Brighton would play is clear. They're not going to change it for anybody. Their new coach, he has the same stubbornness as Jurgen Klopp. He doesn't have, obviously, the accolades, doesn't have the tactical nous, and dynamism of a Klopp, but he's stubborn the same way, which is, I'm going to play this way I want to play, and that's it. So they're going to press up high, they're going to leave spaces in behind, so it's there. You can take advantage of those spaces in behind, or you can decide to, to play like wet socks, like you did against the same team, Brighton, in the FA Cup, and get punished. But it's right there. They're going to play the same way they play. It's up to you to use the players you have available. You have pacey fullbacks. Are you going to use them rightly? You have pacey wingers. Are you going to use them rightly? So it's up to you, Mr. Maresca. It's up to the players to sit up and get themselves hyped for that game. So at this point, I've come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. And before I go, I have to say this. There'll be a reaction video coming about one superstar player. I need you to be there for that reaction video, and I don't want you to miss it. So with that said, do subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you're notified each time I go live on the channel or post a pre-recorded video. So for now, I'll say to have a splendid rest of your day. Stay well and stay blessed.